Okay, so this is the second video. I'm recording this right after the first video. That's why I'm wearing the same clothes. So we'll get started with the second video. So you can see I'm in this world now, and we're gonna code something super simple. Nothing difficult at all. Well, did you see the screen get really funny over there? Wow, why is it red over here? And it gets blue over there. Maybe the sun's coming up. I have no idea why. Anyway, we'll face this way because it's much more pleasant. But I'm going to press C and scroll right to the top, open up this right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a few things so that things are really easy for us. So I'm going to get rid of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say on chat command reset. And what this reset is going to do is it's going to bring the agent to me. So if I press play now and I go to, I knew it was something weird. Okay, let's go day, always day. There we go. Okay, oop. Always day. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Okay. And if I type in now, oh, I forgot what it was. Reset. There we go. If I type in a reset, you can see that my agent is teleporting to me, even though it looks like he's running towards me very fast. He's actually teleporting to me. There we go. Okay, great. So now we have a way for the agent to come close to us at any time. What's the other thing we need to do? Well, we need to start coding things, right? So what we're going to do with this agent is make a very simple pattern. But to make a pattern, we first need to place a block. So let's do this step by step, and we're going to do some troubleshooting as we do this, right? So I'm going to say player on chat command. Let's say line. Why not? We'll make a line. Okay. And we'll go to agent. We'll say agent move forward by 1. And you can see that this doesn't actually do anything, right? Because all it does is move forward by 1. The agent isn't actually doing anything. There's something very important we need to add, and that is right here, agent place on move. There we go. Now if I click on, there'll be a different error. We'll type in line. You can see, oh, oops, the agent is out of blocks to place in this slot. What can that mean? Well, it's very simple. We need to give something to the agent. Okay, right here. So we're going to give this agent, let's give it some of these polished andesite blocks. We're going to put 64 in slot 1. And let's type in line and see what happens. Okay, so now it makes a block. Wonderful, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted. But it only makes one block. Okay, so what do we do now? If we want this to go forward a few times, we can just adjust this code, like so. We'll type in 5, which means the agent moves forward 5 times. And since the agent is placing on move, it's going to place 5 blocks. So let's press play. I'll press line, open the chat command, type in line, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brilliant, that's amazing. Okay, so now we have a great way of making a line. But what if we want to make a pattern? So let's change this to pattern. Now I want you to pause the video and I want you to just think about in your head how you could possibly make 2 lines. Because it's very simple, right? It's very, very simple. Okay, all we need to do is just split this into 2 pieces. So we're going to put this to 2 right here. And then, oh, that was 1. There we go. We're going to copy and paste this and do another 2. Now, some of you might have spotted the issue, which is this is not going to make a pattern, right? So we need to put something else here. Let's put this right there. And I'm going to put in something like, let's type in black. I'm going to get some of this black terracotta. Black concrete. Great, black concrete. Some of you might see the issue already, but it might not be an issue. Let's figure it out. The great thing about code is you can't really make mistakes. You're just going to learn. You type in pattern. Okay, so it does actually make the pattern. Okay, great. However, now, now we have another issue. What's the other issue? Well, actually, let's move this. Let's just restructure this bit. We'll put that there. There we go. Okay. Matter of fact, what we're going to do is we're going to say on start. which is right here, I think. I think it's going to be on start. Da, 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 da. If you can't find it, you can just do this here. Start. There we go. And this just means that this agent place on move is always going to happen. So we don't need to worry about this. We're just separating what we're doing. Okay. Let's actually move to a separate area. We'll type in reset again. So our agent moves to us. And we'll type in pattern just to see where we're at. Great. 2 gray, 2 black. Okay. So now we want this pattern to repeat. Now you can do this, right? You can definitely do this and just copy and paste this like so. Copy and paste things like so and keep doing this. But that is very time consuming, and the best programmers I know are actually very lazy because they figured out ways to do things in a much shorter space of time. Oh, and by the way, you can copy and paste things just by pressing Control C. If you're on tablet, you can just hold the block, and then click duplicate. Okay, and I think you can actually do it here as well. Yes, this is what you'll see on tablet, duplicate. Let's get rid of that. So what can we do? Well, if we get a loops, we type in repeat 4 times, put this inside there. Aha, now let's see what happens when I type in pattern. We're going to reset. We're going to type in pattern and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, wonderful. You can see that this repeat code makes this block of code happen 4 times. And it's quite easy to read, right? When we type in the word pattern, a block of code is executed 4 times. And the block of code is this. Really good. Okay, so now what can we do to our block of code to make it into a house? Well, let's think about what we could do. Okay, I'm going to move this agent over here. Reset. Good. And I'm going to type in, let's add some new code. We're going to add some new code that is going to be equal to agent turn right. Turn right. Okay, we'll do that. Turn right. And now we're going to say, actually, you know what? We'll keep it simple. Just for now, we'll get rid of this. Just to keep it really simple, put this to 1. I'm going to show you what this does first, and then we're gonna go through together. Okay. If I type in, what was the code? It was pattern, yes. If I type in pattern now, pattern. Okay, what's it gonna do? Okay, you can see it turns right, and it starts making a square. So get to the last bit of code, and then it's gonna look right and left. Why did it look right and left? It's because there's no space to do anything right here. There's literally no space, right? So we need to make a way that this agent can make a block where it's standing right now and then move forward. There's a few ways you can do this, and none of them are better or worse than the other way. Here's what I'm going to do. If we follow this code conceptually, on chat command pattern, repeat 4 times, we're giving this block to our agent. We're moving forward by 4, we're moving right. So it means at the very last point, what we need to do is move the agent up, because we can move up, right? Let's move the agent up by 1. Okay, and if we do that, let's see what happens. It's always a good idea to test. Right, so we'll do reset. Actually, let's move over here so we got some space. Reset. Type in pattern. Okay, so it's making our square. It's going to move up, hopefully. Okay, now it actually moved right. Well, that was weird. Why did it move right? That is not what it should have done. Aha, move forward. So let's move this to up. That's a great idea of why it's really important to test, right? Test code. Okay, good. So let's move this right here again. Type in pattern. And now it should do what we want it to do. There's enough space. Great, there is. Okay, it's moving forward. Okay, runs into error. It goes up. There we go. You can also see that our agent has turned right. That's because look at what it does, right? So it repeats this 4 times. And the 4th block, what it does is it moves forward, but it can't move forward 4 times. It can only move forward 3 times. Okay, so it can't do this, but it goes to the next step, which is turn right. That's why it turns right, and then it moves up. So what we need to do now is move it up And now if you look at the direction the agent is facing, you can see it's facing in this direction. So what do we need it to do? We need it to move left by 1, right? But when it moves left by 1, we do not want it to place any code or place any blocks. Okay, so let's actually get this from here now. We'll put that right there, turn that off, and we'll put this right here in the beginning, get rid of this. Okay, so now this is off, and now this is going to be move left by 1. There we go. Let's see what happens if we do this. So we'll type in reset. We'll type in pattern. Let's see what happens. Have we done this correctly, or have we made a massive hiccup? Moment of truth. It's going to go up 1, then turn left. Great. Okay, and now we can start repeating everything. So we've got to that point where we can start repeating everything again. So let's repeat this. How tall do we want our tower to be? Let's make our tower 5 blocks tall. Okay, and a matter of fact, we're going to say house, no roof. So now I have to type in house, no roof. But first we'll find some space, reset, house, no roof. Wonderful. What is it going to do? Okay, we're going to see what's happening. Hopefully it does what I expect, and I think it will. It's going to move up, turn left. Okay, wonderful. So it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. Okay, great. I'm a genius. Okay, let's double check it does the right thing again. Okay, perfect. So it looks like it's doing exactly what we want, which is great. It means that we can kind of leave this code to itself, right? And it's going to do exactly what we want and behave as predicted each time. Perfect. So we've made our house. So this video was all about making our house and using loops and using a few basic functions. So we'll go through this one more time, right? And we changed a few things in the course of this code, but as long as you understand the basic principle, this should be okay, right? So all we've done is to break it down, right? From the beginning is we type in house no roof. It then repeats this big block of code 5 times. This block of code inside is repeated 4 times, and this block of code is repeated 5 times. So that might be difficult to understand conceptually, but when we put this inside, okay, now the agent is able to place our move 5 times. But since this is only a yes or a no, it just stays on all the time. Then this is repeated 5 times. And then this inside of the repeat 4 times is repeated, as you guessed, 4 times. And this is what actually makes the lines or the walls, right? This step here is just letting our agent move up 1 level, right, without placing a block. Perfect, right there. Okay, I believe. Okay, so as you can see, our agent stopped halfway because we opened the code builder, but yeah, we managed to build a house and we did it quite easily. So if you're curious about how this works, I urge you to start experimenting with things and try and think about what you really need. Because I did this live, right? And of course, I've been coding for a long time, so I know what to expect. But for you guys at home who don't know what to expect, test things as you go along. So maybe you think, oh, this is certainly going to work. Test it, because it might not. And there was actually a great example of me making a small mistake, and it didn't behave how I expected it would. Right? So you should do the same at home. You should test things always. Make a small change, test it, then add some more things, right? Because then when something goes wrong, and it will go wrong, that's what coding is all about, you'll be able to find the solution much more easier or much more easily. Perfect. Okay, so what I will do is I will call the video right there, and hopefully this video is useful. It can be a great review for you guys and you can follow along at home. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video where we're going to be doing something a little bit more interesting, which is making patterns in 3D space. So have a great evening or day or afternoon, whatever time of day it is. Goodbye.